Moving on from that, what are your thoughts on Miranda's comments about the new recruits? He says that changes will make it tougher and tougher to recruit for law enforcement. I mean, I don't have no problem. What are your thoughts?
Good. I was like, good, because every time he was talking, wait, was it Miranda who said that, or was it Dugan?
It was Miranda.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I don't care that you aren't gonna get Billy Bob, who didn't pass the mental test to get into who knows what and now wants to be a cop. I really genuinely don't care.
Right.
Um,
And
I'm just
don't.
gonna be yeah. Hello. I'm just gonna be mean if I keep going, but you see where I'm coming. I don't care.
Right.
Genuinely don't
Right.
care.
Yeah, I think again that just shows like they're like we're not going to be able to get new recruits if we're trying to talk about accountability. It's like oh, like that doesn't say much about your little business model there. Then if that is
Business
if
model.
people aren't like gun ho to be held accountable, and I think I mean speaking of like just larger society, when it comes to we we don't really have the tools, and the conversation isn't as robust as it should be when talking about accountability for regular people, normal
Right.
people, like police officers in their daily lives. So it's even like more horrifying that the normal lack of accountability that just exists in this world now, that police officers are running from that, like that. That's all we're trying to do here is bring the level of accountability that police officers have now to sort of the same level that exists in the rest of the world, of society, and generally making a general statement. I'm trying to make a statement about like the type of people who even want to join,
Right.
like
Right.
become officers. Like yeah, we can talk about we want to protect and serve our community or whatever, and some of these people are joining the police force so that they can be unaccountable and use force like that. And
You
that's what
know,
he's saying by saying that we're not going to get any recruits. But he's saying like those are the people that we're not going to get, the ones who want to be unaccountable and use force.
I like that you mentioned not only about police officers being held accountable, but like the general population holding each other accountable. But I did wanted to bring it back to police officers off duty because we have seen a substantial number of off duty officers still killing people because for the simple fact that they're officers. And I was like, and now I'm thinking about like I wonder if that's even looked at because I feel like that's something that we don't. I feel at least I don't think about all the time. It's just like the amount of police officers that kill people off duty just from the fact that they were cops. And it's just like, I understand you're a cop, but you're not on duty. So it's like, that's still not your right.
And like I can't speak from like a level of proximity because no one in my family has ever been a police officer. And honestly, that's fine. I wasn't born in this country. I don't know what it's like to grow up and want to be a cop. Okay? Because in Venezuela, the National Guard are the cops. Like there's you know what I mean? Like there's no police officer and then the national it's everything's a National Guard. So I'm going to this space saying that I don't know that. But I dated a white girl whose dad was a cop. So that was weird. I did. I will say that again, again, in case the Zoom call. I dated a white girl whose dad was a cop, and
that was a cop. I thought you said I dated a white girl that was a cop.
Oh no, I was not that lost in the sauce, KD. Okay. Anyways, so one thing that really struck me, where I was like,
cool.
Oh, but you're like actually just like always in this mode. Was that we would go to like a restaurant with the family or whatever, like as a family, and they literally said this stuff with like pride, like almost like as if they were cops too, where they would go to the hostess or whatever, and if the hostess would go to bring them to the table or whatever, the dad would prefer to have one where his back was to the wall and he could see the entryway.
Right. Right.
And I was like, because I would just call him dad. I was like, Dad, how come? And he was like, whoa, I just feel more comfortable. Like, and he was deployed. So maybe this is some army thing. Maybe it's PTSD. I don't know. But that just goes to show that they're in that mode and he's not clocked in. We're out with the family. We're out like Cracker Barrel. And he's still in that mode. And I'm like, why are you have a gun right now? He's like, yeah, of course. I was like, oh, what? You know what I mean? And I was just like, that's just how far removed I am from that mentality where I'm not like, like I am Batman, like gotta have my wall back to the wall because anything can happen. And like I have and I have anxiety. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's just, you know what I'm saying? So, but the vigilantism that is still present when you're clocked out, like, dog, what? And that's just him. And I knew him and like he's not anywhere on the spectrum of how bad police can get. It's pretty bad, but I know that there's worse. And I'm like, and you're not even the worst kind of piece of shit human that's out there. And then obviously we have all these human rights people that do research of stuff, and we know that police officers like continuous cycle of violence that is present, and everyone else gets therapy and does normal stuff for it, but you do a night, however long the week's training is to be a cop, get a gun and have legitimate use of force. Nah, yeah, I don't like it.
To play devil's advocate, I'm gonna say I too sometimes, like when I go to places, I like to face the door in case, but I feel like that's like a very American thing, because like gun violence is so prevalent in America.
That's a good point.
I feel like I try to figure out any escape whenever I go to like a place I've never been before. Like I always look for the exit signs, because if anything go down, I need my exit route.
But to play devil's advocate against your devil's advocate, you're doing that as a means to know where you can escape. Whereas, like, you know, hate to break it to you, but Mr. Policeman is not off duty, is not looking for his means of escape. You know what I mean?
I get
He's
you.
ready to go, to be clocked in, to be Jason Bourne or whatever that movie is. I don't watch those movies. So, and I get you, because after Pulse happened, like, I'm a queer. So whenever I go to the club, I also, like, you know, or even like in public spaces, I also am like, if I get like anxious, I'm like, wait. And like I start looking for the things of escape for sure. But we're looking to escape. Like if I'm with my friends, I'm like grabbing them to know, like, okay, I can whatever. We don't have that mentality of like punch in, like I'm legitimate use of force, like I'm gonna be the gun that saves everybody. I don't think we are. I'm not.
I feel you.
You know?
Yeah, no, I definitely I appreciate both of the devil advocates. Yeah, and when you are given this level of force, it's almost like the queen knighting somewhat. Like when it really becomes your like personality. Like that's you are that. I mean, they talk about Blue Lives Matter or whatever as if they're like they wake up blue or something. Like
no, wake up blue.
Yeah, it really is. It is an identity that they really cling to, and you mix in force with that, and it's just like that's the mechanism that's going to come out every time. It's going to come out through using force, through dominating, through like exerting just absolute control. I also can't have to think about the fact that they like it started as slave patrols, like as literal slave catchers, and also how back in those times, like normal white people were able to like be ordained to be a slave catcher. Like there wasn't really no divide between like the police and regular white people at that time. I think it's a little bit more of a divide now, and white people still can fall back on either using force themselves, like, or relying on the police to use force for them.